after using nearly every safety squat bar on the market, bringing the best ones I think in-house to test and review. Today I want to tell you which safety squat bars are the best for your hard-earned dollars. Let's do it. What's up guys? This is Coop from Garage Gym Reviews. Today we're going to be talking about the best safety squat bar. Let's go look at them. Ta-da! In all their glory. I've got pretty much every safety squat bar that I think is worth even looking at here today. Today I want to tell you which one I think is the best for most people, as well as some other categories like an upgrade pick, best budget, and all those sorts of things, and kind of go through the details on what you should look for in a safety squat bar. This is a very in-depth video. However, if you want even more depth, hit the link in the bio and you can go check out our review article that we've done on the best safety squat bars that we constantly update because we can't get into that much depth here. Also, if you like these best of roundup videos, make sure you subscribe because we have quite a few coming on different products. So to start off, I've got basically all of the safety squat bars here that I think are worth looking at. Now, the idea behind a safety squat bar is that it combines a bar that can be used specifically for squatting. So you can use an Olympic bar for squatting and you're gonna be fine, but if you'd like to change up your movements, if you'd like to change up the way it feels, then a safety squat bar is a great option. The standard safety squat bar, like this one we see here for EliteFTS, which is kind of designed off the original Crep and Seg safety squat bar, which is kind of designed off the original Hatfield squat bar. It's really supposed to hit somewhere in between a deadlift and a squat. And when I say hit, I mean like it's basically trying to pull you forward due to the camber angle, and because it's pulling you forward, it's gonna feel kind of like a squat, kind of like a deadlift as far as like the DOMs go afterwards and the musculature that it's hitting. Now there's all sorts of safety squat bars, and we're gonna show you a couple like unique specialty options that are among specialty bars, so they're a specialty bar. We're really getting into subcategories here, but I want to kind of go through and tell you which ones I think are best. So there's a few certain like specifications you should look at when it comes to safety squat bar. One is the construction and where it's made. So is the bar made in the US? Is it using, high tensile strength steel? Is it using like Olympic sleeves, or is it using, standard stock on the sleeves? Those sorts of things. It's everything about the construction. Next, you have the materials on the pad. So are they using like a firm pad? Because of like a loosey-goosey thin pad, once you get into heavy weight, is not gonna feel good. You want something that's thick. Are they using multiple layers? Are they using carpet pad or foam? Those are different things that are gonna be used within the foam on the padding. In addition to that, you have what's wrapping around the padding, and that's like the vinyl that's on top. Vinyl tends to rip, and some of the even most expensive safety squat bars, I'm looking at you at EliteFTS, the SS Yoke for instance, the vinyl is known to scratch and rip easily. But the more you spend, typically the thicker you'll see on the vinyl that's being used, which means it's less likely to rip. In addition to that, you have the handles. How far do the handles go down? Are they knurled? Do they have grips? Are they removable? The EliteFTS SS Yoke, the Titan Safety squat bar, both those have removable handles, which make it easy and I guess more versatile because you can use it for different movements like JM press. In addition to that, you have to look at the finish of the bar. So is the bar actually finished in something, or is it bare steel? If it's not bare steel, is it finished in chrome, or are they using a powder coat, or are they using a zinc or something like that? If they're using a powder coat, how often does it chip? If it chips, are you gonna have a ton of rust on it? Is it not gonna look good? That sort of thing. Then you have to look at the sleeves. Are the sleeves an Olympic sleeve, or are they more like a specialty bar sleeve where they're using like a 2-inch outer diameter Schedule 40 pipe? And the reason that's not good is because then you have to use unique axle bar collars. And if they're using axle bar collars, that's another thing you have to buy. It's another thing you have to keep on hand. It's just not ideal. In addition to that, you have to look at the camber angle. So is the camber angle how you want it to be? And what I mean by how you want it to be, is it throwing you backwards? Is it throwing you forwards? Are you allowed to stay locked in? Those are all different things that you're looking at when you're looking at a camber angle. And then lastly, you want to look at the value. And this is the most important, is the features. How do the features line up with the price? So if you have really high features and a really high price, the features can only get so good, right, with the safety squat bar, okay? Even if it's like gold plated, is that something, people want? Probably not. So what I'm looking for specifically when I recommend these things is what is the best value safety squat bar. So what has the best functionality and the best features for the lowest price? That's the intersection that we find. And so what I want to talk about now is the best safety squat bar. So this is the one, my top pick. This is the one I recommend to most people. And that is, drum roll please, the Titan Safety Squat Bar. So this is the Titan Fitness Safety Squat Bar. Honestly, I'm as surprised as you are that something from Titan Fitness would be the best in any category, simply because most of their stuff is not good. Most of their stuff is just really cheap. Overall, however, they are improving, and one they particularly improved on is this bad boy, the Titan Safety Squat Bar. I kind of feel bad for Dave Tate and EliteFTS because pretty much all they did was probably buy an EliteFTS SS yoke and copy every part of it. And actually improve it in some sections, yet offer it at a price that is less than half of the cost of the safety squat bar or the SS yoke from EliteFTS. So, but I'm reviewing more just on product, not on principle. So, you know, I understand that they have a patent and they created it and everything like that, EliteFTS, but this is what's available, so this is the one I think is best. This is priced at currently $229 with our price tracker. We priced it as low as like $175 on some sales, but its previous retail was around $192, but Titan keeps increasing their prices without improving the product, so just something to be aware of. Regardless, this is the best safety squat bar for most people. And the reason is it's offering all the things that we like of our previous pick, the EliteFTS SS yoke, but at a much better price point. So every part of it is pretty much the same. The foam they're using is a little bit different from what EliteFTS is using. What Titan's using is, instead of a 2-layer foam, like with a base foam and then a top carpet pad, they're using a carpet pad all throughout. So this is a good foam that we found doesn't compress too much over time. It does compress more than EliteFTS's. It will compress more over time. However, it still feels comfortable. So it's firm enough that you're not gonna feel the bar on your back, like this actual bar digging into your back when you're using it, but it's soft enough that it's comfortable and anybody can use it. In fact, out of all the safety squat bars I have, including some that are 4 times as much as this bar is the one that's used most often at our gym. When we have all of them out there and we let the clients pick, they always go to this one. They have no idea on price, they have no idea on features, anything like that. This is just the one they go to. So that should tell you something about the comfort of it. Now, the width of the yoke is very similar to the EliteFTS yoke. The camber angle is exactly what you'd want for a camber angle. It feels the exact same as the EliteFTS SS yoke. I've even measured it out. It's the exact same. So basically the idea is that because this camber is putting the weight out in front of you, it's wanting to pull you forward slightly. So when you're squatting, you're not only having to stay upright, like you would with an Olympic bar, but you're gonna have to force yourself even more against it as you get out of the hole, because it's gonna wanna round your back and punch you forward. And the Titan Safety Squat Bar does that really well. One additional good thing about this bar that I think they improved over the EliteFTS SS yoke bar is what you can see very clearly, and that is the chrome finish. I hate aesthetic chrome. I really don't like the chrome they're using. It's a cheaper chrome. However, this chrome is much better than what EliteFTS is using with their powder coat. EliteFTS is using a clear coat powder coat that chips and looks crappy. As you can see, this bar has been used a lot, yet it doesn't look like it, okay? The sleeves are still clean. They're easy to put weights on and off. The section that actually lands on the J-cups that ends up looking marred and scarred very quickly still looks good. This safety squat bar is awesome. In addition to that, the sleeves, they're using a standard Olympic sleeve size, so plates go on and off just fine. They stay close, and then you can use regular collars on there, whereas with the EliteFTS S yoke, you cannot. So to summarize, as far as the top pick, this is an incredible bar. This is one of my favorite specialty bars that's out there. People ask all the time, what safety squat bar should we get? Listen, I mean, for most people, this is the option you should go with. Okay, let's talk about the runner-up. And again, I said I felt kind of bad for EliteFTS. This is the EliteFTS version. This is basically, in my opinion, this bar has a lot of significance. I think it's because it's one of the first specialty bars that came out that kind of spawned the revolution of companies putting a lot of time, R&D, and money into making specialty bars. We now have companies like Kabuki Strength, which really all they I mean, they make other stuff, but the main stuff they make are specialty bars. And I think this ushered in that era because this was one of the first bars that a company and a person, Dave Tate, went to the drawing board and rechanged everything about it. So if you use the Krepensek safety squat bar, it's an incredible bar, but this one, in my opinion, is better. If that one wasn't out there, the Titan safety squat bar, this would be our top pick. However, they basically copied everything from this one and, you know, made it a lower price. So sorry guys, but that's kind of how it is. This one is made in the USA though. That one's made in China. This is made out of a company out of Minnesota, Heavy Metal Barbell, Greg's an awesome guy. I'm pretty sure they're the ones that are still making it. It's a great bar, but some of the downsides is you'll see this thing has been used and abused. It still works fine, but as you can see, it starts getting marred and scarred. It's rusty and scratched up, and that doesn't just happen, you know, from using it a lot. That can happen very early on. This started getting scratched and crappy very quickly. So you can also see they powder coated the sleeve, so as soon as you put a plate on, it just scrapes, and so it gets rusty, and it's also using an axle diameter Schedule 40 or Schedule 80 pipe here, so you have to use specialty collars. I will say, one thing I do like about this more than the Titan safety squat bar is the foam. Despite this one being used quite a bit more than that one, just because this one's been around a while, it is still holding its shape extremely well. So it uses a foam base and then it uses a carpet pad top. So basically what Titan did was instead of doing a 2-layer, which is probably more expensive, they just went with a single layer and chose the carpet pad. Whereas Dave Tate thought this through and he went with the foam bottom and then the outer layer is the carpet pad so it feels comfortable. Everything else about it, it's a great bar. It's pretty expensive at about $429. Then you have to factor in shipping, that's quite a bit more, but this is our runner-up. Okay, so now we're gonna talk about my upgrade pick. This is the cost is no option pick. This is the, I just want the best features, regardless of the price. This is the one. Let's check it out. This is the Kabuki Strength Transformer Bar. If I was to have one safety squat bar, it would be not that one. That's version 1. Version 4.0, Kabuki Strength Transformer Bar. This, in my opinion, is the best safety squat bar that's out there. This very well may be the best specialty bar that's out there. If you're like, Coop, I don't care how much it costs. I just want the best, which is kind of where I'm at. This is the one you want. The Kabuki Strength Safety Squat Bar, or the Kabuki Strength, actually, I need to rephrase that. It's the Kabuki Strength Transformer Bar, and that's because it transforms. It takes the place of a lot of different bars into one package. Okay, this is just an absolutely incredible bar. If I had to pick one specialty bar to be in my garage, this would probably be it, just because you can use it for so many different things, and I do use it for so many different things. This is by far the best, okay? Kind of what's unique about it, we've done a full review on this in many different forms, but the unique part of it is, one, it's made extremely well. The parts and everything about it is just done really well. Kabuki Strength was one of the earlier companies that decided they were going to go all in on specialty bars and just make them as good as possible, over-engineering them, using good components, and also thinking outside the box with them. But what's unique about it is it's got this sleeve that rotates up in any way that you'd want it to go. So you can go from a hinge, and the idea is basically this is putting pressure on you in a different way. It's a different stimulus because the load is put in a different area, okay? So you can do all these different increments here, but then you can also change the sleeve height. Now, I like the original transformer bar that's down here. This is technically version 3.0, but it's not that much different for version 2 and version 1. The big differences between those and this one, this is a consumer-friendly model. That model was not consumer-friendly. It was really sharp. In fact, my camera guy who's holding the camera, Sam, actually said this thing is really sharp without even knowing like I had said that about it. It's just not made for home gyms or, you know, it's just not for consumers. It's like experimental beta bar. Whereas this one, I can feel really comfortable recommending because it's a finished model. It's not only easy to use, but it also looks clean. It doesn't have sharp edges. It's just extremely well done. Now this bar is expensive in comparison to the other ones. I don't think it's crazy overpriced. I think it's pretty equitable at $600, $599.99. Sometimes you can get some discounts. In fact, if you use Coop5, you can get a 5% discount. Huge discount, right? But it'll save you some money. But everything about this bar is just really well done, from the sleeves to the camera angle, the adjustments, The knurling that's used here, that's the same as the New Gen Power Bar, which is one of my favorite power bars, to the vinyl that's used with the embossed logo, absolutely money. Looks like something you'd see on like a high-end sports car. Nice internal foam, which they updated, which I do think is better than the previous model by far. It's much softer, still firm, but much softer. To really the creme de la creme of the entire piece, what really matters is this adjustment piece. This is my favorite safety squat bar if money doesn't matter. Now, I want to talk about one other bar. I've got some others over there, but there's really one other that I want to talk about that's kind of unique and kind of holds a different place in my heart and mind. This is the Mars bar. Now, this isn't necessarily a safety squat bar like you've seen. It is a safety squat bar, I think, but it's more of like an alternative to safety squat bar. And what's different about it is it places the load a lot lower on your back. So rather than like the safety squat bar typically resting kind of on top of your traps, you can manipulate it some, but that's kind of where it sits. This one sits much lower. So as you can see, it's kind of like below my, it's definitely below my scap and kind of down low. You can adjust it to be higher, but most of the time you're locking in here. And the idea behind that is it's similar to kind of a low bar squat. So it's actually a really low bar squat, a low bar safety squat bar. It's very unique. I really like it. I do think it's overpriced at $559, very expensive, especially when you factor in shipping, that this has to be shipped on a pallet because this part is fully welded. So it is very expensive. However, it's a great bar. I mean, they're using Olympic sleeves. They don't spin, but they're using standard Olympic sleeves made by a company called Solid Bar out of Kansas, Wichita, Kansas. The foam, the vinyl they call the skirt, the handles, everything about it is just a fantastic bar. I wish it was priced better so more people could try it. I would not buy this over like our top pick or the Transformer bar, but if you want something a little bit different, maybe you power lift, you do a lot of good mornings, that sort of thing, the Mars bar is excellent. In fact, if I was gonna because I have all of these bars in here, when I'm safety bar squatting, unless like the program I'm following specifically says a safety squat bar and I can't ask to like change it out, this is the one I use just because it feels so comfortable. You're completely locked in. It's an excellent bar. We've done a full review on it as well as all these other bars. Okay. So I've basically talked for a long time on safety squat bars. This is a topic I like, just like any other topic, but there's a lot to talk about. But there is one thing that you're probably asking yourself, and that is, Coop, you didn't mention the Rogue SB1, and here's why. Rogue Fitness, in my opinion, is completely resting on their laurels when it comes to specialty bars. So, employees at Rogue, if you are watching this, which I'm sure you are because you want to know where I'm ranking you, you need to use your incredible engineering and manufacturing power to create better specialty bars. The SB1 is a decent safety squat bar, but I wouldn't even put it in this ranking. I would put it at like 3 or 4. It would come down low. It's not the best in my opinion. Rogue, with all the manufacturing power and all the engineering power they have kind of not done a lot with safety squat bars or any specialty bar. I mean, their multi-grip bars are all the same. Their trap bar, the TB2, which wasn't that different from the TB1, is very similar to all the other ones out there. They still use powder-coated sleeves. Listen, the Rogue SB1 is a decent safety squat bar, but it's not good as these. They're getting passed up. I want to see Rogue come out and do something sick for safety squat bars and all the other bars, unless they just go and buy Kabuki strength, which who knows, maybe that happens someday. That'd be kind of a cool crossover. But yeah, the safety squat, the Rogue SB1, it's a good safety squat bar, but honestly, I don't think it's worth putting on here. I have used it many times. I don't have one in the house right now, but it's a good bar, but it's not this good. All right. Those are all the safety squat bars. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you think I went too harsh on some? Or is there one that I left off that you think is better? There's a lot out there. Actually, I've reviewed pretty much all of them in some fashion over at the website. So we're talking, the Krepensek, we're talking the EFS, we're talking about some of the other ones that, I know you guys are gonna mention that are good bars. These are just the ones that I see right now that are worth looking at. So if you have one that maybe I missed, put it down in the comments. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Peace.